I don't work like that.
She's all mad because I've made her press record when we haven't decided what we're talking about.
I have to have a plan. I can't
We've been sitting here for like 15 minutes discussing what we're going to discuss. I'm going to get my pen out and write some more notes.
I'm going to eat more chocolate.
These are fake notes. I'm just doing squiggles.
Can I see your notes?
Nope. Let's start with...
Hey, Annabel.
Hey. Let's start with episode 4.
Yep.
I was meant to...
This sound is me eating chocolate.
Bit of ASMR for those of you out there. Actually, let me try some of that.
Okay.
So usually, in my defense, I don't eat things like that usually, but I really like that chocolate. The sea salt one. The other chocolate we have is Belgian.
You've spilled it on your blank notebook. On your notebook with the scribbles in it.
It's orange peel. Oh, I like that.
Orange peel and dark chocolate is legit.
For those of you who like ASMR, here is me eating chocolate. Someone said to me today that I should do ASMR, and it's like the 100th person that said it to me.
Yeah.
I think I might have a career that I don't even know about. I'm going to charge great money. OnlyFans was a mistake. I should have been doing ASMR the whole time.
You should do it.
Great, another thing to do. Cool.
Great. When you're already having a panic attack over everything you're doing. So, when they got here today, you were recording your weekly cover.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell everybody what you chose this week?
I can, because this will be coming out after. So I'm doing a cover every week in the lead up to my new single coming out.
Which is amazing, by the way. I heard it.
Oh, thank you.
In the studio last week, and I just loved it.
We've had it mastered. It's fine, don't
God,
worry.
I got chocolate on your bed.
Oh my God, it's fine. I need to open it.
Oh no, I just made it bigger.
Now you're rubbing it in. How can we just
So, your new single's amazing. It's called...
My single is called Spiritual Violence.
I love that title.
Thank you. So you were here the other night when we got the mix back. And we've had it mastered since then.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't heard it, Spiritual Violence, run to your closest streaming platform and type that in.
And just put it on repeat and just listen to it thousands of times.
So up until then, you are recording a song every week. And what did you do this week?
I'm doing a cover every week, videoing them and putting them on the internet, on YouTube and on my Instagram. Everything is / OK Annabel. And this week I did The Carpenters, Superstar. I love that song.
Me too.
Second show, your guitar.
It's so sad. It's such a sad song. And all of the songs I'm choosing are basically songs that I've either listened to loads in my life and have inspired me to write, or are specifically things I was listening to while I was making the record. And this song is just one of those ones that I listen to and have listened to constantly for 20 years. Mm. Obviously, Karen Carpenter, R.I.P.
Yeah. Gosh, what a life.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So tragic. I'm very drawn to things like that are beautiful and tragic. That energy. I don't really know what that's about. I don't know why I'm like that.
Do you think it's to do with that we know that life is going to pass us and shift and change, and that we're all going to be gone someday, and so that makes the moment kind of tragic in a way because you can't hang on to it? Life is fleeting, basically, and everything.
I don't know if that's exactly why, but I think that is an element in it. Like the bittersweetness of life is something that's always been really romantic to me and really inspiring. Mm. And I think that's also just the bittersweetness of life, the dark and light in life. I'm not one of these people that's like, good vibes only, happy all the time, blah, blah, blah.
No,
I just think
that's a lie.
It's so unhealthy, all of that stuff.
Have you seen The Days of Wine and Roses?
No, I haven't. Should I see it?
Tragically beautiful movie.
Oh,
you would love it.
Is it really sad?
Yeah, it's very sad. And one of my favorite quotes is from that movie. It says, "They are not long, the days of wine and roses." Out of a misty dream, our path emerges, then closes within a dream.
Wow, that's so sad already.
It's about an alcoholic woman who just rips apart her family. They're a married couple in the 50s or something, and she just drinks herself into the ground.
Sad.
And her husband tries to stay by her. They have a young kid, and she just can't keep it together. It's very sad.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Anyway.
Good God.
I was going to say, let's talk about some funny things. And then we just
neither of us
went straight for the jugular.
So we also listened to some of your music last week.
We did, yeah.
You played us, actually, better than listen to your music, you did a concert for us and you played Lullaby.
Yes.
Remember that one specifically? I love that song.
Thank you. That song, Lullaby, is about a boyfriend of mine when I was right out of high school. He died when he was 22.
Oh my God, of cancer.
Yeah.
What kind of cancer kills a 22-year-old?
I forget. Some really rare cancer. And he wasn't sick for long. And I learned a big lesson out of that relationship because he had cheated on me. And I was he cheated on me with my best friend.
In high school?
Yes.
So obviously in high school it's like so dramatic. And
it's like,
the worst thing you
it's
do.
in your entire world.
Yeah.
It's your high school and your town, your hometown. And so he had done that to me, and I just didn't know how to respond to that kind of thing. And I just went into defense and just wanted to inflict as much pain on him as I could.
What?
So I threw everything he gave me into a box, all the letters, all the pictures. I crossed out all the pictures. I took all the letters and cut them up and circled where he had lied about, I love you. And I wrote liar, and it was horrible what I did. But you're young and you don't.
You went full bunny
full
boiler psycho bitch mode.
I did, yeah. You don't know how to handle those feelings the first time it happens to you at such a young age. And all the jewelry he ever gave me, I melted it and hammered it into like a ball of metal. It was crazy what I did.
Literally, this is psycho. I love it.
Lost my
I'm
mind.
obsessed with that. Okay, tell me more things that you did.
I just took any shirts I had of his.
You ripped them up,
shredded them with scissors, and I put it all in like a shoebox, and I took it to him at his work.
Was this in Montecito?
No, it was actually near Malibu. And took it to him at his work, and I just shoved it in his hands and just left. And then he went to rehab shortly after.
Yeah.
Because he was having some issues. And he called me from rehab, and he said, I loved you, and I'm so sorry, and I don't know why I did that. And I'm sorry. And I said, it's okay. I handled it really poorly. And we.
Now, how old was he when he went to rehab? And was this like after?
He was probably 20.
So it had been a few years since the incident and the breakup and the reaction. And you had left high school.
Yes. Yep. That was the last conversation we had. And then he got sick shortly after that. And he was only sick about a year.
Wow, it took him real quick.
Yeah, it took him very quickly. And it taught me a major lesson because then he passed and I have nothing of him.
Wow, yeah.
And I promised myself that I would never do that again. I would never erase somebody like that. I don't care how mad I get now.
Yeah.
Anytime I've gotten that mad, I have not done that. I've maybe put their things away in a box in the attic or something. But I don't like that concept of erasing somebody while they're alive. Or ever.
Yeah.
Because it only hurts you.
That's such an interesting subject. So can relate to a lot of that story. My first serious boyfriend cheated on me as well. And when I found out, I'll never forget the feeling. It was like my knees were weak. And I was hot and cold all over and like dizzy. You remember that feeling?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know. Your system doesn't know how to handle it.
Like, I was in the house with my mum and my sister, and he had already been a naughty boy anyway, and we are very close to this day, and we'll always be family. So everything's fine now. However, he had alcohol and drug issues as well. And my sister literally had to like pin me down because I was like, I'm getting on a train and I'm going to where he is right now. We lived a couple hours apart. I'm going there right now. And she like pinned me down. She was like, you're not going. You have to calm down.
What would you have done if you got there?
I don't know.
You were in England?
I don't know what I would have done. Yeah, I've been a psycho. But I did go.
You got out of your sister's grip? Oh.
No.
And ran to the train.
Ran. No, I did go that week and I didn't tell him I was going. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but he never told him. Didn't tell him I was going. And I walked into the pub in Eastbourne, the Black Sheep, I think it was called, that we all used to go to. And I walked in and there he was sitting in the corner with a girl on his lap.
How old were you that you could be in a pub in England?
Well, I was underage, but you have to be 18 to drink in a pub. But let's be honest, we're all in the pub from about age 16. Everyone in there was underage.
So he's in the corner with a girl.
With a girl on his lap.
Was it the same girl?
Different girl.
And were you still together at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were trying to work it out.
Crazy, obviously.
What was his face like?
Just complete shock. He obviously was not expecting me to just turn up there. Because how would I have known he was there? Blah, blah, blah. It was just a guess. I just guessed.
Did you do yourself up, or did you have like?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was like a full like goth punk at that time. So whatever the version of doing yourself up, in that style is. I probably put some like extra safety pins on the crotch of my jeans.
Yeah.
And I went mad. And I think I called the girl like a slut or something. Said, "Get off my boyfriend, you slut." And I was like outside now, and I went crazy, slapped him in the face. I tapped him.
He followed you outside?
Yeah, he followed me outside like a naughty boy in trouble at school. Yeah, well, I owned him because I made that girl my girlfriend and carried on with my life.
I've done that before.
It's just so funny. It's just
good songs come out of it.
Oh my god, yeah.
So what song did you write about that?
I mean like girlfriend, like not just my friend. Like I made her my like girlfriend.
Like sexually?
Yeah.
That is next level.
Oh baby, yeah, she is really hot.
Where does she live?
No idea where she is.
I just told everyone that Andrew went to rehab. You're not supposed to do that.
I'm sure everyone knew that Andrew went to rehab. But so talking about that, okay, first of all, yeah, totally get it, had the same experience.
So did you write a song about that situation?
I wrote hundreds of songs about
right?
the situation.
Did you write
and
an
it was an
album about
ongoing situation. I was with Jimmy from age 14 until my early 20s on and off. But Jimmy ended up becoming like more like a brother, and he like lived with my family and stuff, and that's how that all went.
Really?
We were so young.
I know, young people do stupid things.
I have so many funny stories of me and Jim. God, we laugh when we're together because he and I just acted so mad independently, but also like when we were together, so crazy.
I cheated on a guy in 7th grade, and it broke my heart because I liked him. I was like so...
You're obsessed with him.
I was obsessed with this guy named Nathaniel. Hey, Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
He wanted to be my boyfriend, and I couldn't believe it. I was so excited.
So you sabotaged it.
I've totally sabotaged it. I totally did. He was my boyfriend for about a week. And I went on a walk with this other guy in my neighborhood. And the guy kissed me, and I just let it happen. I didn't know.
You snugged him.
I just didn't know how to say no. And I just let him kiss me. And then...
Is that cheating?
Someone told Nathaniel. I wasn't going to tell Nathaniel.
Did someone see, or you told somebody else?
I think the guy told people. And then Nathaniel came up to me at school with everyone watching and tittering and whispering.
And dumped you.
And dumped me in the quad, like in
front of everyone.
Yeah. And I was shaking so hard. And that's actually how I got into poetry club and how I...
Because you wrote poems
connected with poetry. No, because then Nathaniel broke up with me in front of everybody. And I denied it. I denied that I had kissed this guy. He was like, I'm not going to be with you anymore because you kissed what's his face. And I said, no, I didn't. Yeah, you did. bye. And then I was so embarrassed that I couldn't be at lunch anymore. Because I was mortified. And so I joined poetry club because it met during lunch.
Oh my God.
And so for the rest of the year, I was in poetry club during lunch and fell in love with poetry. And that, so that was where I first discovered Shakespeare and
wow,
all the greats. And I'm still obsessed with poetry and collect it and act it. But yeah, that was how it started because I cheated on Nathaniel.
I had a love in 7th grade as well called Jeremy Kingsley. Oh, God. I still think I'm in love with him, actually.
Let's have him on the show.
He
we should have all these
actually
people
2 weeks ago announced that his girlfriend and him were having a baby. And congratulations, but also I am devastated. So I had to text everyone in my life and let them know that Jeremy Kingsley's having a baby with someone else.
You didn't text me.
Well, you don't know Jeremy Kingsley, so... And I texted my mum and I said, I would like for you to erase all signs of Jeremy Kingsley from our home.
This is what I'm talking about. Don't do it, Annabel.
I tagged every available surface with I heart JK. Every dresser, every door, every sink, everything, like underneath things. My mum was laughing. She was like, Annabel, you're married. I'm like, I know. A baby is very permanent. No offense to my husband, but divorces are a thing. That baby's forever.
Takes it to a next level.
My future stepchild.
So what happened with him in 7th grade that you lost him?
Oh, God.
How'd you fuck it up?
Honestly, the most... he fucked up. You know that yearning, longing, just desperate love? Unrequited.
Yes.
So painful.
So painful.
Even as a child,
living hell.
It's hell.
Yeah.
It's agony.
Yeah.
That was me with Jeremy Kingsley from like age 10 to
What, he just never
now.
liked? He just never liked you? Did he ever give you a glimmer of hope?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, some really hard things.
Oh,
actually.
he toyed with you.
He toyed with me like a little mouse. Well, everyone thought he was gay at school, and I knew he wasn't because he would secretly kiss me and would tell me that he like loved me and fancied me and all of this stuff, but he would never be my boyfriend, like out. It was always a secret. And then everyone would be like, you're crazy, Annie, that's not true. And I'm like, it's true. He loves me. And I love him.
He wouldn't even speak to you if you went up to him.
He blanked me. It was like I didn't exist, which I think is probably quite formative for me in my relationships because now we're talking about it, it's really coming together. So the worst breakup that JK and I ever had was, so we had payphones on, I went to boarding school. So the girls' wing had 2 payphones, boys' wing had 2 payphones. Mm-hmm. Call your mom, whatever. This is before mobile phones, by the way, not to age myself, but it is before them. Mm-hmm. So he called me he was like, I'm going to call you at 8:15, whatever. In the payphone. So I'm there at the payphone waiting. I'm like, no one can use a payphone at 8:15, like blocking the doors off. He calls me. He's like, hey. I'm like, hey. And we're like talking. And then I hear giggling. And all the boys, he's on speakerphone. He's put the phone on speakerphone in the payphone booth. All the boys are giggling. And then I realised they've all been listening the whole time. And then he goes, you're dumped. And they all just like fell about laughing. And I was so devastated.
That's so
devastating. Humiliated. It was awful. It was awful. It was so sad. It was so sad.
What did you tell anybody?
No, I was mortified. I wasn't going to tell anyone. Obviously, they all told people the next day. I wasn't going to tell anyone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was awful. And I continued to be in love with him. I joined Touch Typing Club because he was in Touch Typing Club. So I just wanted the one thing,
Touch Typing
like
Club?
where you type where you don't look at the keys.
Uh-huh.
So there was like a lesson, like an extra group where you
like
could
a
learn.
stenographer in the courtroom?
Yeah. So you can like I could look at you and type right now.
Can you still do that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks to Jeremy Kingsley.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy Kingsley.
Yeah, and then after I broke up with my last boyfriend, I saw Jeremy Kingsley a few times, and I really
Why do you call him by both names?
I don't know.
Call him by Jeremy.
It has to be Jeremy Kingsley.
Has to be.
Because I'm not in love with Jeremy. I'm in love with Jeremy Kingsley.
Got it.
And we saw each other a few times between my last boyfriend and my husband.
Did he ever apologize to you for dumping you that way?
He probably doesn't even remember.
Oh, God.
So he just found out. So you can send me an apology in the form of a marriage proposal in the next 10 to 15 years
And
when I'm ready for my second marriage.
Congratulations on your baby.
Congratulations on your baby. I'm sure it's going to be perfect and have beautiful eyelashes like yours. And your girlfriend looks tall and she has really nice hair. So I hope you guys are really happy together.
Good luck with that.
And you're dumped, by the way.
Yeah. You're dumped in front of a million listeners. Yeah, you're right about to say that these relationships are very formative.
Totally. I mean,
Totally.
talking about this right now, that has been every relationship I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about it.
Me too. I'm thinking
It's
about
me
things too.
longing this unrequited love, and I go in. There was this man, Will, that I was obsessed with, and they're always older than me, which is weird, apart from Jeremy Kingsley, he was the only one that was my age, and Barnaby, my last boyfriend, but oh my God, above and beyond, making them little things, doing, like, I'm always available, I'm always there when you call, I'll always come over at the time that suits you. This guy, Will, he went away to Peru, he used to drive this postman van, the little red postman vans in England. So he had like an old decommissioned one, and that was his car. And I found it at the train station where I knew he'd left it, and I covered it in flowers, like something from a film, because I knew he was coming back that day. That's the kind of shit I would do. And it's like, a man doesn't want this. Whittling him miniature things and leaving flowers on the car and writing love letters and drawing portraits and stuff. This is me, every man.
Well, that's the little girl in you that is the romantic.
Yeah.
That is pining for
daddy,
for daddy. Honestly, for daddy. I mean, you saying that it reminded me of a really powerful experience I had in 6th grade with Corey Miles. Corey Miles. Yeah, he was my first kiss. And I grew up the kind of kid that, because of some alcoholism in the family, I was always trying to be very quiet and likable and not rock the boat and just like be very easy to love.
Yeah.
Just very easy to love. Whatever you need me to do, I'll just do it so that we're fine and you're fine and you don't leave.
Yeah.
And you love me.
And you love me. Yeah, I feel that massively.
And so I got to this new public school, and I had gone to private school my whole life in a very, very tiny school. So I came to the shock of 6th grade in a public school, and I was just strange. I just dressed different, and I was quiet.
Did you go to one of those little Montecito schools?
I went closer to Los Angeles, but it was a Montessori school. It was a Waldorf school.
Oh my God. Well, that is so much context. Like, it's not like you just went from one school to another and it's like you're this strange girl from a private school. You went to a Montessori school.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what was strange. It's not the private to public transition.
No, it was the Montessori.
It's the fact that you went to Montessori school where you probably had, like, instead of chocolate, you were given, like, carob.
I was given carob. I was.
Yeah, instead of chocolate.
Yeah.
That's sad. And also it's child abuse, in my opinion.
You know what's even funnier is I had carob-covered tofu sticks.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I had no television in the house.
That's why you don't like this chocolate.
I hate it.
Is because
Traumatized.
it tastes like something
My
that
childhood
would have been given to you at the Montessori school.
Exactly, yeah. Anything healthy, get it away from me.
And if it was like, okay, was it like, okay, Lucy, you seem to be feeling a lot of anger right now, and what you want to do is scream and punch a wall, but they're like, why don't you draw a picture about it? What colour are you feeling?
I'm feeling purple. I'm feeling specifically lilac today. Yeah, it was. It was. You know, it was. And
So
it was
then you went
a lovely way to grow up.
You went to public school.
Yeah, I had no plastic toys. All my toys were wood and cloth.
Whittled by
me, because whittling was one of my classes. I would whittle my own toys. And then I'd go to friends' houses.
You're not joking, are you?
No. And I'd go to my friends' houses.
Some pee actually just came out. I'm not kidding. Like, I don't know why. I just pissed myself a little bit because it frightened me what you said.
I basically grew up naked in the woods until it got so awkward for my relatives that they would ask my mom to bring a bathing suit when I'd come over. Because I was like 13.
Oh, so you had like little boobs and pubes
naked.
And stuff, and it's like, yeah.
Anyway, I had no toys of plastic. So every time I'd go to a friend's house on a play date, I was just using the friend to play with their Barbies.
I can relate to this.
I'd lock myself in their
so
room
much.
and I would make the Barbies have sex. That's all I wanted to do, which is make the Barbies. And I didn't watch any television. I just watched movies, and I watched the same 4 movies over and over.
What were
I watched
they?
the 10 Commandments.
You and me are so similar. It's actually fucking weird how similar our lives are. It's psycho. You watch the 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments, Gone with the Wind, Mary Poppins, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Okay. Mary
Over
Poppins and Chitty Bang Bang.
over.
Completely understand why we were allowed to watch the first 2. Seems like a disaster in the making.
And Ben-Hur. That was the 5th one.
Why?
Yeah, I just loved it.
Inappropriate.
And How the West Was Won. Loved him. Loved it. So those 5-6 movies on
And The
rotation.
Shining.
And well, that was later when I was rebelling and going through my teenage years. I glommed onto The Shining. Before that, anyway, I came to public school from being a Montessori kid, using colors to explain my feelings, which I still do. And this guy, Corey Miles, swept me off my feet.
Oh,
You know,
Corey.
He told me.
I think I'm in love with him.
He told me, listen, I really want you to be my girlfriend. But there's this other girl, and her name is Ashley. And she's about to leave school. She's going to a new school. She's going to be here for like 2 more weeks. So, how about Ashley's my girlfriend for the next 2 weeks, but then when she leaves, you're going to be my girlfriend.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, great.
Sounds great, yeah. How old are you at this point?
I was 12.
Yeah. Oh.
Because up until 12...
You love organization as well, so.
I love organization. He
Yeah.
gave me a plan. He laid it out. I said, you know what?
Works for me,
I
baby.
can understand. I can plan my next month. It's perfect. But me, with the specific issues I had of dealing with a parent who I was just trying to, like, it was on their terms.
Yeah, yeah.
Me getting their love was all on their terms because I didn't understand what was happening with, you know, my dad always going away.
Yeah,
I didn't know
sure.
why. I thought it was my fault. I thought if I could just, like, be more lovable, he might stay. I don't know.
And it's because he was going off to work and things?
Yeah, he was just
Touring?
gone, you know?
and-
He was living his best life.
Yeah.
And kids don't understand because they're so literal. They just go,
Yeah.
oh, you left. It must be me.
Yeah.
Let me spend my whole life trying to figure out how to make you stay, you know? So
This is making me feel really sad.
I
and
mean, the
emotional.
reason we got on this is because it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Do you react to these relationships that way because of how you were raised by your parents, or do those relationships shape you? It's both, right?
Yeah.
It feeds into itself, and it's a cycle, and this is our life. And you grow older, and your current relationship and my current relationship most likely are still processing these issues in some way.
Oh.
So with Corey, you know, I waited for...
The 2 weeks, and did you guys...
I waited for the 2 weeks, and then he was my boyfriend.
How long was he your boyfriend?
Oh, you know, on and off for like a year.
Whoa.
Yeah, we liked each other for a long time.
Did you guys do bits?
We just kissed, but he
Just
was
the
my
whole
first
time?
kiss. He said,
How
he gave me a
sweet.
note, and he said, I still have it.
Yeah.
It's in one of my scrapbooks. It said, Lucy, meet me behind the green box. There was like a green shed
Yeah.
at the baseball field at the school. And he said, meet me behind the green box. And he spelled meet, M-E-A-T. And I went there after school with my best friend, Katie, who's still my best friend.
Aw.
Katie was there when I had my first kiss. She was there when I lost my virginity, sitting outside the room,
Oh my god.
watching television. She's been there for me so many times. And so I made sure that I was there for her when she had her first baby. I was in the
Aw.
hospital sitting outside the door listening. And I heard him take his first breath, her little baby. But her and I have been there for each other.
Aw,
Really
cute.
interesting. So Katie came with me, and his best friend came with him. And they stood, and we went behind the green box and totally kissed. And it was
cute.
so scary,
Oh my god, did you use tongues?
but so thrilling.
Did you use tongues?
Yes, it was so thrilling. I was 12, and it was just Corey Miles. That's Corey Miles.
Oh,
And then we'd go on dates to the movies, and my mom insisted on coming with us.
I mean, you have to be getting
My mom would go on all my dates with me, but what she would do is she would sit like 5 rows in front of me. So that
so she wasn't watching
No,
you.
she just wanted me to be able to yell for her in case I was getting molested or something. But she didn't watch us. So Corey and I would go to the movies.
How long did that go on with your mom?
Totally make out. Till about 5 years ago.
So the umbilical cord is still we need to attached.
Maybe go to some therapy.
Yeah, feeling a bit attached to mummy, are we?
She did that from the time I
No, I think it's so
really
sweet.
just about because I had my first boyfriend when I was 11. His name was Jason Kennedy, and I broke up with. He was at the Montessori school. I broke up with him because he did Jim Carrey impressions all day long. That was my reason. I remember breaking up with him, and he said,
Do you know where he is now?
No, I don't. He said, but why? Why are you breaking up with me? And I said, because you do too many Jim Carrey impressions.
Super. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Fair enough, to be honest.
Right?
I wouldn't like that.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
No.
Even though Ace Ventura was one of my favourite films.
It was my favorite, but come on, man.
Yeah, it's not... I mean, he's like playing like a wacky man. We're not trying to...
Not needed. So she only did it from like about age 11 to 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like the year after Corey, you were able
The year after Corey, I told her to fuck off.
No, you didn't tell your mummy to fuck off.
My mom and I really came to blows at a certain point,
At what point?
but that's another story.
No, it's not. What are you
At the
talking
point that I was a freshman in high school and I started dating a senior, and she threatened to get a restraining order against him if I didn't stop. So we kept dating and we just did it in secret.
Because he was a senior and you were a junior.
Yeah, he was I was a freshman. He was 18 and I was 14.
I mean, yeah, it's a bit...
So,
It's not illegal, but...
her and
Wait, is it illegal?
It is illegal, yeah. It is illegal in some circles. Her and I came to actual physical blows.
Illegal in some circles.
It is
it illegal
yes.
in the circle of the law?
In California, the United States, yes, it is illegal. Yes.
Okay, just to clarify... You know, Jimmy, he was older than me, and his mum was so upset because it's...
How much older?
Not that much older, 2 years
25?
older. No, I was 14 or something, and he was like 16. So it was statutory rape. But I was gagging for it. It wasn't like it wasn't like
I need more chocolate.
It's not like,
Where's this
Jimmy
chocolate?
was doing anything wrong. I was like, please, Jimmy. Please have sex
Yeah,
with me.
I was the one begging him too. I was like, let's get this over with.
Let's get this over with, and let's do it 50 more times.
Yeah, let me see what this is all about. Exactly. Before you need to go off to college.
Do you remember your first time?
Yeah.
I remember it so well.
Yeah. Mine was awesome.
The first 24 hours was just like, tried everything.
I didn't try anything. Mine was
Really?
so straightforward, no foreplay.
Just
like,
in and out.
Straight to the point. Missionary, just
really cut and dry.
just really learning the ropes.
Mine was so like passionate and loving. Because he'd been my boyfriend for a long time.
Yeah.
It was like a big, like we were like really in love. It was a big relationship.
Mine was too. It was very sweet. It wasn't very passionate, but it was very technical.
It was like painting by numbers.
It was painting by numbers. And I was like,
But
ow,
shaggy.
wow, that really hurts.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Are you okay? No, yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, keep going. It's fine. I love you. I love you too. Keep going.
Oh no, that's so awkward.
So yours was passionate. It's
sweet.
wonderful. It was sweet. It was fine.
Yeah, mine was so passionate. God, because we'd been going out for this point for so long. That had been building up for so long. And we were so obsessed with each
Why
other.
were you waiting?
Dementedly obsessed with each other. I don't know why.
Because you were 11?
Because I was young. Yeah, I was young. I mean, I wasn't 11, but I was young. And I thought, best wait till I'm at least 15. For Christ's sake.
Yeah, I was 15.
And it was super loving and super passionate, and he was always respectful and caring and kind. So I think I was, hate to say it because I know a lot of girls aren't, but I was lucky in that way. I wish I didn't have to say I was lucky, but I was, and he really took care of me. And listen, I do think that the whole virginity thing is really like overhyped. The whole sanctity of virginity and all this. I just think it's so
it's become taboo.
bad. I think it's really emotionally and mentally bad. Like that it's some big thing, and that it's like you have to hold on to your virginity, otherwise there's something wrong with you. You're dirty.
Well, that's how women have been repressed for thousands of years.
I also don't like. I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh God, this is going to be dirty.
No,
It's going to be appalling.
so you know how we were talking about.
She always gets this look on her face before she's going to say the most appalling thing.
I'm just so scared to say it. Okay, so you know how last week or was it the week before? Maybe last week we were talking about Me Too.
Yeah.
Well, I got a bit Me Too'd.
Your first time?
No, I was Me Too'd, like someone Me Too'd me. As in, like, they were like, Me Too, but to me.
Like you did
I
it
was
to
the
them?
perpetrator.
Okay, let's back up. So you have Me Too'd someone.
It wasn't, the words Me Too weren't used, but I'm just going to say it felt like I was being Me Too'd, yeah.
A man or a woman?
A man. And the reason I was thinking about virginity so much recently is because it was about his virginity. And he lost his virginity to me. And he basically shared with me that I traumatized him slightly. And
Did you force him?
No, I didn't force him. God.
How would you put it?
I wasn't as gentle and delicate as I could have been.
Did you tie him to the bed or something?
No, I didn't tie him to the bed. I just was...
You weren't precious about it.
At this point, I was quite sexually experienced. So,
He should be thanking his stars.
no, I mean, the thing that was tricky about it for me was that it seemed like he was putting a lot of his relationship and codependency and sexual issues focused on this virginity moment.
Right.
And I remember when I lost my virginity, my mum went mad. She didn't speak to me for over a week.
Why'd she know about it?
Because my fucking sister called her and told her, like, excuse my language, I've already said fuck and everything else, but a real bitch. She called my mum. I confided in my sister that I'd lost my virginity. She called my mum and tattled on me.
How'd you get her back?
I don't know, she went mad. She went completely mad and she wouldn't talk to me for a week and she went off for a week.
Your mom?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And when my sister lost her virginity, my mum did this dramatic painting about it. I don't know, it's just so, I just find the whole thing demented. And then and then I've traumatized this poor boy about his virginity.
How long after you took his virginity did he come back at you and say that you had traumatized him?
Last week.
No.
Yes. This was last week.
And it was years ago that you slept with him.
Yes.
How did he get a hold of you?
We were friends. But
What did he say to
just
you?
Never really brought it up before.
What did he say?
Just everything I've just said, that it was traumatizing for him and that a lot of his relationship issues he thinks were about that.
Yeah, that's not your fault.
His relationship issues and codependency issues are not about me.
Exactly.
Let's just put it that way.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, and that's what people bring to sex. You know, they're going to bring their past. They're going to bring all their...
Yeah. But
all their...
for my virginity, I wasn't traumatized. I didn't feel like it was a big deal. It was very calm. It was very loving.
Yeah, you didn't put a lot on it.
No. And I hate the expression, take your virginity. I think that's like a really horrible thing. I've just been thinking about it so much since my friend and I had that conversation the other week. Because... You know, I have young nephews and a niece, and maybe one day I'll have kids, I don't know, but I think that the way that we talk about that stuff is really important.
It is.
I do not want the young people in my life to put this big, thing on virginity. I don't want them to feel scared about it. I don't want them to feel traumatized about it. I want them to feel excited about sex.
You don't
I
want them to feel guilty about it.
Guilty or dirty. I don't want them to feel like they have to lie or it's a secret. I want to know that they feel healthy and safe and all of those things. And I don't want this language of take or give or anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that the whole concept of virginity could be really erased. It's such an old, unhealthy thing that, like you said, is to do with an ancient, deep-rooted masculine over feminine.
It is masculine
control
over feminine. You know, I was...
thing. Is she clean?
Yeah, exactly. Is she? I was watching a documentary because I try to watch a documentary every day. And I watched one on these...
Okay, show off.
I'm sorry, I do. Learn. Gotta keep learning.
So clever.
You know. Yeah, so I watched one the other day about these, I don't even know how to describe it. These people in another part of the world where it's their tradition to sell their daughters off for these arranged marriages, and how they prepare them from infancy to be sold to a wealthy husband. And that's how they continue the family money for generations. And these girls are happy to do it because it's all they know.
Yeah.
And they were interviewing this one girl in particular, going on her journey of being prepared for a husband. And she was young. She was 13. And she was going shopping for the dress.
So she's a child bride.
She was a child bride, basically, yes. And same thing, you just saw, wow. And she was just saying, I would love to explore my own life and my own dreams, but that's just not the cards I was dealt. Wow. And I watched another one on these Mennonites, how, you know, they live without any modern technology, no modern comforts. They're basically back 500 years. And same thing, just the women. They were interviewing so many women that said the same thing. I would love to pursue my own things, but it's all about the man. And virginity has been a major tool that men have used to keep women down in that way, where if you are soiled, deflowered,
you're not worth any money, you're
ruined
not worth anything to the family.
By sexual experience, you are worthless. You're just worthless.
Cotillion? Think about cotillion.
Exactly
He's
right. You're preparing the
demented.
woman to be presented to society to
In
grab
a white
a husband.
wedding dress.
In a white dress with all her manners in place. She's lovely to look at. She doesn't speak. She doesn't have anything to say.
This is basically, here's this child. This is what she's going to look like as a bride, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, here's your catalog of beauties. Yeah, so it is a taboo thing, this virginity. I don't think it belongs anymore. It's an outdated concept. But look, I
don't think it's going anywhere, but I just think if there's some small changes that, you know, just on the level of your own family that you can make, so at least that's a handful more children not traumatized by the concept.
I agree, and I think it just comes down to the individual. Some people are ready for it sooner. I was just super curious.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you had the Barbies shagging in the
Clearly, yeah, and I was always a very curious kid sexually. I mean, in kindergarten, I just remember like taking little boys and girls and just kissing them in the bushes.
Yeah.
Like I liked kissing. I thought, oh, that's I like that sensation.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. I want to see what that's about.
Yeah. I think there's so much suppression of that now.
There is, because sex, it never felt dirty to me.
Yeah.
I wasn't as a
to
kid.
A child, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's adults that
they make it dirty.
The gaze of the adult that makes it into this thing, and it's like the most natural thing for kids to do.
It's so natural.
All of that, but I think that the world is so different now than when we were kids. I think that growing up, I never really would get in trouble for stuff like that growing up, and I think most people didn't really. But now it's like, because of the internet, but because it's so easy to be a predator or be preyed upon, people are so afraid of children, I think, exhibiting any kind of curiosity when it comes to like their bodies or other people's bodies or anything like that. That was something I've become so aware of since living in America. It's like heightened sexualization of children as a reaction to not wanting children to be sexualized. What ends up happening is you like hypersexualize them. And I still don't quite know how to pick that apart or what to do with it or what the fuck I think about all of that. I just Yeah.
Well,
since
you're
living, it's
saying
just-
you're saying start in your own family and try to create a safe space for the young ones in your family. And
Yeah.
I've got young niece too, and will most likely have children, and that's really where you can start with it, is just creating a safe space for them to know that they're not dirty or
Yeah.
wrong or weird.
Yeah.
You know, because it was very normal for me as a kid, and it was normal for me at 15 to feel ready to explore sex.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I was like, sweet, let's, I want to see what this is all about. I'm
Yeah.
interested. I'm curious.
Loved your boyfriend.
I'm in a loving relationship.
But even if you didn't, I think that also needs to be okay. Like,
It does.
If the path that you want to take is, I just want to get my virginity done with.
It does,
and
because
then-
he went to college and we never dated again after that. Like,
Yeah.
it was over.
Yeah.
But we bring so much to sex. It's it's so involved, because gratefully, luckily, I didn't have any experiences that harmed me
Yeah.
sexually as a young person.
Wow,
And
really?
No,
God, I don't like.
nothing.
That's so odd. There are so few people
I know.
that haven't had like damaging.
I know, and people don't
Sexual
believe me when I
experiences.
say it. They say, "Oh, well, you just can't remember them." But no, they do. They're like, "You've pushed it down."
Well, I
Because,
mean,
or they say, well,
everyone-
otherwise you wouldn't have kissed the little kids in kindergarten. You must have had
Oh, for
something.
God's sake!
You must have had something at home, and you've just pushed it down in your memory. But no, I'm so, and I know what a big deal that is to say that I haven't, because I know that that's rare, and I know
so
that
rare.
most people listening have not had that luxury,
Yeah.
and so it's just very tricky. What shapes our sexuality?
Yeah.
It's all these things
Mm.
that happen to us really early on. It really affects the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So we got on this topic because we were talking about songwriting, and you asked me what I had written Lullaby about, and I told you it was,
Fuck! Is that how we got on this all the way over here?
it was Andrew.
It
Yeah.
was Andrew.
Who, after I broke up with him by taking him the shoebox at his work,
Full of the memories.
full of all the memories we'd ever made, he passed away.
God, that's so crazy.
And I wrote Lullaby because when he passed, I thought of his parents. And I thought that how interesting it is that when we die, sometimes if you're sick like that, you really do revert back to being a child in a lot of ways. I heard somebody talking about the passing of their mother, some writer, I forget who it was, and he said that she was sick in the hospital bed and her foot was hanging off the side of the bed, and she was an older woman. And he said he saw his mother's foot hanging off, and she was curled in a fetal position and her little foot hanging off, and he said she just looked like a little child.
Yeah.
It was right before her death. And I thought of Andrew's parents, and I thought, how would I feel if that was his parents?
Mm.
I just lost this child, and I just came up with this lullaby.
Yeah.
And so...
God, it's such a beautiful song.
Thank you. I'm going to be releasing it soon.
Are you going to record that with Max, do you think? Or have you recorded that with your...
I've recorded
I think you
it.
should. I think it would be amazing with Max.
I would love to if he'll have me.
He would love to work with you.
So, there's a lot ahead. You're releasing your single. Everyone's going to listen to it right now. They're going to pause this podcast and go listen. And then are you going to be putting out other singles?
Wait. I'm just thinking about what you just said. You're doing your media training of going back to what we have to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stop. You're talking about so many interesting things.
I know. What else do you want to say about it?
I'm just thinking about Andrew and that song. And the fact that he called you from rehab.
Yeah.
And then it was a year later he was dead.
Yeah.
What did it feel like when he was dead? Sorry, I just have like a lot of questions. When you found out he died, what happened? Like, who called you and what happened?
I found out that Andrew died. I knew he was getting very near the end, and I gave a letter to one of my best friends, Ryan, who was also Andrew's best friend. There were a little group, there was like 5 or 6 of us that were best friends, and I wanted to see Andrew, and he wouldn't let me.
Wow, why? Do you know?
I assumed that he didn't want me to see him like that because he was a very small guy.
Yeah.
He was really short, and he always got made fun of and other jocks would come up and pick him up and put him over their shoulder.
Mean.
And he got bullied a little bit.
Yeah.
Even in high school. Even, the kids are just cruel. And so when he got sick, I think he had a lot of pride and shame about it. Because he didn't speak about it really. He just really shut down. And I asked to see him multiple times. And I just got the word back that, no, he doesn't want to see anybody. And so I wrote him a letter and I gave him a book. And I gave him a James Van Praagh book that I think is called Talking to Heaven. Looking back now, I don't know if that was the smartest thing because I'm sure he was terrified of dying.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am giving him a book about dying.
I mean, you just don't know. It could have been... I think that's a lovely thing to do. But I think that everyone's views on death is different. And you never know. It could have helped him. I
have no idea.
Don't assume.
I never heard from him. And then it was Thanksgiving. And our little group of friends was at my friend Rachel's house. And Ryan, Andrew's best friend, was there. And we had our dinner. And after dinner, Ryan said, Andrew passed away this morning.
Oh my God.
And I said, why didn't you tell me when you first got here? And he said, I didn't want to ruin the dinner. I said, Ryan. And I got up from the table and I went in Rachel's room by myself and I just sat there. I don't even think I cried. And they left me alone for like 10 minutes and then they all came in and we just cried together. And then I couldn't go to his funeral because I was playing the Staples Center. I was playing like Jingle Ball, the Kiss FM Christmas concert. And I had to be at Staples all day for sound check and everything. And I couldn't go to his funeral. And that was really hard. But I've grown up in a family where the show must go on. And so that's been my training. So that's always been a natural part of my life, that you're not there for every wedding. You're not there for every funeral.
Do you regret not going?
No, I don't. I've missed many a wedding and many a funeral. I missed my grandmother's funeral.
I think that Andrew would have wanted you to go and have your big moment.
Yeah, exactly. So writing Lullaby was really my way of healing from that and processing what I felt. I reached out to his parents and I sent them the song, and I've written them many, many times.
Do they write back to you?
Kind of. They kind of do, but I think it's difficult for them.
Probably so painful for them.
Yeah.
Because you're still here.
Yeah. They almost came to my concert right before quarantine happened because Ryan's parents came.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, Andrew's parents were going to come. But something came up at the last minute. So they got really close to being able to come.
I think it would probably be so hard for them.
It would be hard, especially
together.
Because that night I was finished with my set and I was going off stage and somebody said, please come back and play Lullaby.
Yeah.
Somebody called it out from the audience and I came back and ended up saying what it was about, and I wouldn't have known that they were in the audience. So I still visit his grave when I go out to my hometown.
And I like that there's a group of friends and you can all... Yeah. You all remember him, and he'll always be there because he's always with all of you.
Yeah.
I think so many times people pass on and there isn't anything to keep them around. Not that they should be kept around, but...
Well, that's true. I think especially...
Sometimes people are too around, let me tell you. But
sometimes people just won't die.
They're really hanging on. But at the same time, I think that is something in my life that I would really... Oh my God, I'm going to cry. I just want it to like have meant something to someone and just be like remembered to someone. And I don't know what that instinct in me is particularly, but I just think it's beautiful that you have like a group of people who will always remember Andrew. I can't think of anything worse than just disappearing into nothing. And maybe I need to do some work on that, but...
Well, to me, that's the reason that I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Is because...
Yeah, I mean, I guess I never will. There's songs,
Our songs will live past us, and to me, that's very comforting.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I never really thought about that. Well, thank you for sharing all of that with me and us.
Thank you for asking me and making me focus on it. I haven't talked about that ever, I don't think. But, yeah, we talked about a lot of surprising things. I didn't know that our...
Teen love. First love.
What the hell?
First betrayal.
First
psycho freak out.
First cheating of me
First
tooing.
lesbian experience.
Yes. First me tooing of someone else.
Yeah. I mean, I did kind of know that I would be the first one of my friend group to get me tooed.
To be the me tooer. You should call your album Me Tooer.
No, I absolutely will not. You're off to London tomorrow night.
I'm off to London tomorrow night.
So the next episode will be
with
long
me
distance.
In London town and you in America. Ha ha, you're the Brit and I'm the American and we're swapping. We're swapping.
Is there room for me in your suitcase?
Yeah, you can come.
Great.
Sleep in between.
See you at the airport.
Will and I. Wow, that's going to be interesting. So yeah, we're going to have a lot to talk about next week. Listen, anything you want me to do, anywhere you want me to go, in London, in the surrounding areas, anything you need
You're
from
going to go on
any
a
store.
spiritual sojourn for me.
I will. We'll have a lot to talk about. You can send me on adventures and I can send you on...
Don't send me anywhere. I'm very tired. Okay, love you.
Mwah.
Bye.